Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to Jersey City Pilates. For today's class, you're going to need a loop band, one of these. But if you don't have one and you just have a long Thera-band like this, you can use this and then just tie it in a knot and use it as its own loop. Either one of these is fine. However, if you don't have either one, you can still do this class, no problem. But you can grab weights and I can show you how to modify some of the upper body things with weights. And we'll just generally talk you through how to do this class if you don't have the band. So to start, go ahead and just put everything off to the side and then come to lay on your back. Plant your feet on the floor, your head is flat on the ground, and then just bring your hands onto your ribs. You can put your thumbs on your back ribs, and the rest of your fingers on your front ribs. And then just take a big inhale, and then exhale. Feel yourself be nice and heavy on the mat. And then from here, take a big inhale, and feel your fingers expand. Feel yourself breathe into those back ribs and all the way wide into your hands to the side. And then exhale, feel them gently draw in towards one another. And again, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Feel the engagement start all the way at the bottom near your pelvis, moving all the way up, bringing those ribs together in the front. And then 2 more breaths here like this, inhale, and exhale, release. Last one, inhale, exhale, feel your pelvic floor engage slightly. And then from here, you can bring your arms down by your sides. And then you're just gonna take a nice big inhale. And on your exhale, press gently into your feet. Feel your hips draw up towards your ribs. Press your low back into the mat and your abdominals descend and soften. So your low back is gently pressing into the floor. You're in a slight pelvic tilt here. And then on your inhale, release. And then exhale, tilt your pelvis under. And then inhale, release. 2 more just like this, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, draw the tailbone under gently. Hips are still staying on the ground, and then let yourself release. Good. From here, inhale, pull your low back gently onto the floor, and then float your arms up. If you have a loop band, you can grab onto it, or you can just hold onto your weights in your hand. I'm going to thread my hands through my hand, and I'm going to press my arms out, and then inhale, release my hips, release my hands. And then exhale, pull my hands apart like I'm separating from the shoulders. Pull the low belly in, tuck the tailbone under, and then release. If you don't want to use weights, obviously you can just do the same thing, creating that resistance with your own arms, and then release more. Draw the abdominals in, find that pull across your back, create space in the top of your chest, and then release. Last one. Keep a little tension in the band, and you're going to float your right leg up and then tap it down. And then alternating sides, keeping yourself in a nice neutral pelvis here. Once more. And then bring your right leg up. Left leg up to meet it. Ribs are heavy on the floor. Right leg down, left leg down. Alternating sides, pull out on that band, keep a little tension through the upper body. Exhale, right leg meets your left, and left leg down, right leg down. 2 more like this, leading with the right leg. Using your breath on your movement, making sure that your abdominals are not pressing up towards the ceiling. And if this is too much with your arms, you're just gonna drop your arms down by your side. Last one, lift that leg up to the right. Left leg lowers, right leg lowers. Keep that attention on the band, right leg lifts, left leg lifts to meet it. And then from here, you're just gonna toe tap halfway or all the way down, one leg at a time, keeping the other leg in that nice tabletop position. You're also welcome to Bring your hands behind your head, keeping your head, neck, and shoulders lifted here, if you prefer. 4 more. Thinking about moving from the thigh, back ribs staying on the floor, engagement through the arms and through the front of the abdominals, but not an outward pressure of engagement. A gentle softening. Using your exhale to move. Last one to the left. And then lower your right leg all the way down to the floor. Lower your left leg and then drop your arms. And you can just move your hand off to the side. Feet are wide and give yourself a nice little windshield wiper motion here. One more time to the left. Good. And then from here, bring your right leg into tabletop, left leg up to meet it. You have 2 options. You can stay right here and only move your left arm and right leg, or you can bring everything up to all fours position and move from here. We're going to extend our left leg and our right arm, reaching in opposition. I'm going to keep my opposite arm and leg down, but you're welcome to keep them lifted, and then resist to bring them back to the center. And then resist as you extend, finding length through the front of the leg, through the back of the leg, keeping that space open on your collarbones. Think like you have a little rubber band from the toes on the right leg to the fingertips on the left, and you have to resist to bring it in so that you're not gonna snap yourself with the rubber band. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then switch sides. So right arm, left leg extend, and bring it back in. And again, I'm gonna lower my other side that we just worked. Back ribs are heavy here, at a nice neutral pelvis here. And back in, 6 more. Resisting the in as much as the out. You can always bring your other hand onto your abdominals, just check in on what's happening. 2. Last one. Lift the arm and leg, lower down, and we're gonna change sides one more time. Keeping the arms straight and the leg bent, you're gonna come out to a 45-degree angle with both, and then resist to bring it back in. Your option to make this a little bit more challenging is you're gonna keep your arm and leg both extended instead of just the arm. And I'm gonna stay here with that bent leg and my opposite arm and leg on the ground. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back in. Again, keeping that softness through the abdominals. Left leg is totally still regardless of what position it's in. Last one. Lower that arm and leg, switch sides. So right arm is going to come out to the side, right leg out to that 45-degree angle, and then bring it back in. And out to the side, and back in. Again, your leg can be straight along with your arm, giving yourself a little longer lever. You may feel that even more through the obliques. Challenging them here to keep it consistent. 4 more. Sacrum is nice and stable on the mat. You're not rocking your weight over to the left as you open the leg and then rocking it back to the right as you bring it back to the center. Obviously, the farther away you come from your midline, the harder it will be. Last one. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a gentle rock from one side to the other. Grab onto that band if you have it, and then you're gonna put it around your feet like so. And I'm gonna come onto my forearms, but you can do this with your hands behind your head and your head curled up. Again, if you don't have the band, you can just do this as is and try to think about creating the resistance of having the band, so giving yourself a little bit more of a brain workout on this one. Float your legs up to tabletop. And then you're gonna extend your right leg. That's your right leg. Left leg stays still. And then you're gonna switch and resist through. Pulling one leg in as you extend the other. Again, checking in on your abdominals. And switch. And switch. Using that little tension to find engagement through the back of the leg, through the foot, through the quad, as well as through that hip flexor a little bit on the other side. 2 more. Once more to the right. And last one to the left. And then you're gonna lower yourself all the way down. If you would like, you're gonna bring your knees into your chest here, having the band on your feet. Find yourself in tabletop, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, keeping your hands behind your head, and you're gonna twist and rotate up and over towards the right leg as you extend the left. Pause in the center, and then press out, twist and rotate to the other side. And here, I'm just gonna extend my legs because rotating is hard. And extend, good. Think about drawing that left rib over to the right as you crisscross up and over. Don't worry about your knee touching your opposite elbow. Doesn't matter. Think more of the rotation through the torso. You're gonna do 2 more to each side. And last one. To each side. And then slowly lower your knees to your chest, lower your upper body, and then take that band off your feet. And you're gonna roll over and come onto your right side. Guess you could have left the band on your feet. Oh well. All right, bring the band onto your legs now. And you're gonna put it around your thighs. If you can, try to get little wrinkles out, just makes it a little bit easier. So you want it right above your knees, and then you're gonna stack your knees one on top of the other, and you're gonna have your hips facing forward, more or less stacked on top of each other. You can either be up on your hand, or down on your forearm, or all the way down on your right side. Your choice, doesn't make a difference. Wherever you're at, think about keeping that little bit of space on your right side so that you're lifted and not just collapsing into the floor. Chest is nice and wide, square shoulders to the front, neck is nice and long, so you're not just looking at your legs. Keeping your feet together, you're gonna clamshell your leg open and then resist the band as you bring it back down. So resist as you open, and if you don't have the band, you're just doing the exact same thing. Clamshell open and back down. 6, 5, pressing the floor away. Good, your abdominals are still working here, even though you're on your side. 3, 2. Last one, leave that top leg open. You're gonna lift your bottom leg and then lower your bottom leg back to the floor. Lift the top to meet the bottom and then press it back down. This requires a little bit of balance. You may find that you need to rock back slightly onto the fleshier part of your glute from your hip if this hurts. By all means, go for it. You can also put a towel underneath your hip or fold your mat in half. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. And then lower your top leg down. Good. From here, you are going to make sure you have enough room. And you're gonna press yourself up into a side plank. Legs stay together and then lower back down. If you would like, you can extend your top leg and press up into a side plank from here, which is what I'm going to do. And press and lift. 4 more. 3, taking your ribs and your hips with you at the same rate. 2 more. Last one, lower down. Regardless of where you're at, extend your legs long. You can stay on your forearm, but I wouldn't recommend being on your hand here. It's a little much on the side. So either forearm or all the way down on your side. And you're just gonna lift your top leg all the way up and then lower it down. And lift, and lower. For 6, 5, 4, shoulders are nice and relaxed. Everything is facing square to the front. Hips and shoulders, neck is long. For 3, 2, Last one, leave your top leg where it is. This one might be easier if you're laying all the way down on your side, and you're gonna bring your bottom leg to meet it and then lower back down. And then lift the bottom leg and lower down for 6. Top leg stays nice and still. Keep reaching long out of that leg. Again, lifting through the right side instead of letting it just collapse into the floor for 3, 2. Last one, lower the legs all the way down. And then keeping your legs together, so you're not gonna put any additional pressure on that band. If you're using one, you're just gonna lift both legs and lower down. And lift, and lower. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, lower all the way down. Bend your bottom knee, press your top leg down and come up onto your forearm. And then from here, you're gonna lift yourself up into this modified side plank here. If you would like to be in a full side plank, you can. I'm not going to be. And you're gonna lift your top leg and lower it down. Lower your hip, lift your hip. Top leg lifts, lowers, hip dip. Lift, leg down. And so your hip isn't coming all the way to the floor. You're just doing a little dip here. We're gonna do 4 more. Leg. Make sure you're lifting from the top of that leg and that the band hasn't sunk down onto your knee. 2. Lower down. Last one. And lower yourself all the way down and come over onto your other side. Good, so stacking yourself. Find that clamshell position to start. Shoulder right underneath you, or right over your elbow, pressing yourself away, using your abdominals and core to engage you on that left side. Shoulders and hips square to the front. You're just gonna start with that clamshell, opening and closing. Feet stay together. Resisting as you go for 4 more.
No matter what happens, you've got to hang on.
Make sure you're engaging through the abdominals. Last one, leave that leg open, bottom leg lifts, lower down. Lift, and down. You might need to make your range of motion smaller on this side. I definitely have to, it's totally fine. You can do this lying down as well. 4 more. 3, trying to keep this top leg totally still. Last one, lower your arm leg, lower both legs down. You can extend your top leg if you would like. Bottom leg in line, and then you're just gonna lift yourself up into your side plank. And then tap your hip all the way down this side. Lift and lower. Again, you can do this with your knees stacked as well. For 5. 3. 2 more. Last one. And then lower all the way down onto your mat. Extend both legs long, and then you're just gonna start with that top leg. And rest. Good, hips are still square, shoulders square, neck in line with your spine. Working in the range of motion that feels comfortable. And really making sure you're resisting as you come back down. 3 more. 2. Last one. Leave that leg where it is. Bottom leg comes to meet it for 8. 7. 6. You can also use this top arm to press down into the ground. That'll keep you nice and stable. 3. 2 more. And last one. And then lower your legs all the way down. Good. From here, lift both legs together and resist. Lift the legs and lower. Lift and lower. 5 more. 4. 2. And last one. And then bend the knees. Here, press yourself up onto your forearms or your hand, your choice. I'm gonna find this modified plank. Your other option is to be in a full plank. You're gonna lift yourself up, top leg lifts, hip dip. Top leg, dip. Really engaging through the core as you lift. You're nice and stacked, everything facing forward, your neck in line with your spine. Lift, 3 more. 2. Last one. And then lower all the way down. Take the band off of your legs. And you're just gonna put it out at the side. To the side, not out to the side. And then cross your right ankle over your left. And find a nice figure 4 stretch here, finding length through the spine. You can always do this laying down on your back if you prefer. You can also rock your leg back and forth a little from one side to the other. Just breathe. All right, and then from here, uncross your ankles, cross your left ankle over your right leg, and press up. Find that length through your spine. Find a nice neutral pelvis. So I find reaching back gently through my tailbone is really helpful in this position. Again, you can always do this on your back or even standing if you prefer. You can add that little rock from one side to the other end. Make sure your shoulders aren't in your ears, and also that you're not hyperextending through the elbows if you are resting. And then lower that leg down, and then grab on to your band. And I'll show you first with the band, and then after with the weights. Forward. You are going to bring your left leg in front of your right, so you're in this nice 90-90 position. You can tuck your toes under if you'd like. Either way, tuck your pelvis under, find that length through your right hip flexor. So you're getting a nice stretch here, even though we're gonna be working our upper body. And then from here, you're gonna take the band. I find if I just hook it like this around my hand, it works great. I'm gonna extend this arm long. Shoulder is nice and relaxed, and I'm engaged through the shoulder and serratus here on my left side. And I'm just gonna pull down with my right arm, change my projection so you can see better, so that my arm is in line with my ribs, and then release. And then pull back and release. And if you're doing this with weights, you're gonna hold one weight in one hand, and then you're just gonna pull back and release. Pull back and release. Good. Keep going. We're gonna do a total of 12. So 8, 7, keeping that tailbone tucked under. 5, 4, we have a visitor. 3, 2, shoulders relaxed. Last one. Good. Switch legs, switch arms. Again, tuck the tailbone under here. Find that length through your left hip flexor, your left thigh, all the way up through the front of your body, making sure your ribs are stacked in line with your hips. Put that band over your right thumb now, or again, weights in each hand, relax your shoulders, and then pull it down for 12, 11, 10. As you pull down, you're using your breath, and you are pulling on your exhale, feeling your core engage for 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. And then from here, bring both knees next to each other. You can do this standing if you need. Tuck the tailbone under ever so slightly. And you're gonna grab on with both hands inside the band like we did before. Extend your arms long. You're just gonna gently pull the band apart and lift and lower and lift. If you're using weights, you are just holding weights in your hands, creating some resistance as you pull out gently on them as you lift. For 7. If you're standing, you can add a little hinge in your hips. 5, 4, we're gonna do that here in a second. 3, 2, elbows are straight. Last one, good. Bend at the hips. You're gonna lift your arms up and you're gonna pulse out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, really tiny movement. 3, 2, 1, stand up tall. I will switch and use the weights. We're gonna do this, combining both of those moves. So you're gonna hinge forward as you press back, lift in, stack the hips. Lift through the arms, hinge at the hips, open the legs back, the arms back. Hinge, lift the arms, little pulse out, and back in. 6 more. 5. Trying to keep a little tension in those triceps, so not letting your arms come back to their full starting position. 3, 2, last one, and then back up. I'm gonna switch back to my band. You can bring your arms, actually, sorry, for this you don't need anything. You're gonna bring your hands onto your hips or in line with your ears, your choice, and you're gonna hinge back and then come up nice and tall. And then hinge back, coming even farther back than you were doing just a minute ago. Your heels can even graze your butt can graze your heels. Really just focusing on hinging at those hips. For 6, 5, 4, 3. Neck is in line with your spine. 2. Last one. Find a position where you're in a little hover here. Tuck the tailbone under and release. Tuck it under and release. 5. Tuck it under and release. For 8, 7, 6 more. 5, 4, 3, drawing the abdominals in. 2, and last one. And then stand yourself all the way up. Find your tall kneeling one more time. Grab onto your weights or band. Sorry, we're gonna start with our right leg in front this time. Band along your arms, looped over your right thumb. Tuck those left toes under, and then come up into a split squat here. Arm is long. From here, you're gonna bend down into your 90-90 lunge as you pull down with that left arm. Pull and lower for 10, 9, 8. Thinking about mostly going straight down. You can have a little hinge forward in your upper body from the hip to stay engaged. For 3, shoulders relaxed. 2, last one. Come all the way to the top, and then we're gonna switch sides. So step back with that left leg, your right leg now. Find that position, extend the arm long, and then bend and extend. Both the arms and leg are bending at the same time. For 5, not 5, not 5. Again, you can do this with weights in your hands or nothing. 2, and last one. And then come all the way up. Bring your hands into your band, and then just round yourself all the way down. Let your knees be soft, and then just rock from one side to the other. Nice and gently here. And then we're gonna come down into all fours. And you're going to bring the band around your arms. And you can either have them around your wrists, or if this doesn't feel good on your elbows, you can bring it up onto your forearms, your choice. If you don't have the band, you can just skip this and we're gonna work through cat and cow and a couple other things as we would normally. So if you have the band, pull your arms apart, find your all fours normal position, just as you would. So hands shoulder width apart, right underneath your shoulders, and then press up. Excuse me. Find length from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Curl the tailbone under, round the spine up towards the ceiling. Drop the head. The hips are coming up towards the ribs. Abdominals drawing in towards the spine, and then find that extension through the front of your body. And then again, curl the tailbone under, lift. And find that extension. 4 more. Moving at your own pace here. Really noticing how the pull of this band kind of has your shoulder blades sitting flat on your spine, flat on your back rather, not on your spine. Last one. And then find a nice neutral pelvis here. And then let your sternum sink down, scapulas find one another in your shoulder, along your spine, and then press up, feel the engagement through the back. And then again, neck is long, let your scapulas slide towards one another, and then press up and away. Find the strength through your shoulder girdle as you press up and lower down. And lift and lower. For 5. Your abdominals come with you too. 3, don't leave them on the bottom of your shirt. 2. And last one. If you need to readjust your band at all, by all means do so. I need to fix mine a little myself. Okay. And then you're gonna come back again to this all fours position. I'm going to stay on my knees, but you're welcome to come onto your toes. You're gonna find a nice plank position. So tuck your tailbone under, find that length in the front of your and back of your spine. Your neck is nice and long. If your toes are curled under, reach back through the heels, and then also send weight through the head so that you're like looking over the edge of a cliff. But again, I'm gonna keep my knees down. From here, bend your elbows back by your side, keep pressing out with the forearms, and lift. Lower the arms back behind you and press. Good, inhale on the way down, exhale, press. Inhale and press. Now whole hand, neck is nice and long, 4 more. If you need at any point, take a second, reset yourself for 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then tuck your tailbone under, round yourself back, take that band off, and then reach yourself back into a nice child's pose here. Knees are wide. Take a big inhale, and then exhale. Let yourself sink a little bit more towards the floor. Good. And then you're gonna put, now, band, I'm gonna sit, do this, and then come around. So we're gonna start with it on our knees, just like we had it before. So just above the knees. We're gonna do some fire hydrants, and then we're gonna move it onto our feet. All right, so find your nice all fours position. Find that feeling through the upper body with that little pull out through the forearms, engagement through your torso. And then from here, you're just gonna extend your right leg back and then bring it back in and extend it back. Your foot is not leaving the floor. So you're just gliding it back nice and gently through the front of the hip and back. Again, if you don't have the band, this doesn't change how you're doing it. You're just gonna keep your leg there. Think about the connection instead that you have between both legs. Last one like this. And then you're gonna switch to the other side. Extend. 5 more. Neck is nice and long. 2. Last one, keeping your weight square, bend that knee underneath you. Extend the right leg back long. Now float it up and down. Keeping that leg straight and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Four more. 3. Elbows are soft. 2. Last one, bring it in underneath you. Switch sides, lengthen through that left leg and lift. If you'd like to make this a little bit harder, you can repeat this little lower body sequence with the band all on one side at the same time, and then switch to the other side. 2. Last one, bring it in underneath you. From here, without shifting your weight all the way over to the left, find your connection across your abdominals, right ribs, left hip, right ribs, and then open out to a little fire hydrant position. Actually, you're gonna bring your left leg down, or left forearm down, sorry. Right hand down with a little bend in that elbow. And then lift your right leg to that fire hydrant. So your weight will come over to the left leg a bit, but you're gonna find a little bit more stability here. 4 more. Doesn't change anything through the core though. 2. Last one, leave it up, extend. Woo. Extend. But here, extend. You may not get that full extension, or you may have to keep your leg a little lower like I'm doing at the moment. That's totally fine. 4 more. 3. 2, working the side of that glute again a little bit more. Last one, bring it in underneath you, and then switching over to the other side. I'm gonna take a second to uncurl my bands. Please do so too if you need. Once they get rolled up, that's just, they're not comfortable anymore. Well, I don't know how you describe this as comfortable to begin with. All right, so now we are working our left leg. So right forearm down, left arm pushing gently into the ground, opening up to that fire hydrant. For 7, 6, 5, 4, just rotating through that hip. 2, last one, leave it open and extend long. Bend it back in. Extend and bend. 5, 4, 3 more. 2, and last one. And then lower that leg down, come up into all fours one more time. Curl the tailbone under, find one last cow here. And then come onto your back. One last time. And keep the band here on your knees. Make sure it's nice and flat on your knees. Or not on your knees, sorry, but on your thighs, right above your knees. And then you're gonna separate your feet hip distance apart. If you'd like, you can add your weights and hold them in your hands here. I'm just gonna leave my arms down on the ground, but that is always a choice. You can also bring them right onto the creases of your hips, like so, and hold them here. That's also another option. As we move through this, I'm just gonna go with the band. You can have the band weights together or nothing. Good. From here, tuck the tailbone under, just like we did at the beginning of the class. Find that scooped under position, and then keep thinking about exaggerating that. Drawing your sitting bones up the back of your legs, peel yourself off the floor. Reaching long through the knees, your tailbone is tucked under, so you're feeling this more in your hamstrings, the back of your legs. Heels are drawing up towards your shoulders. And you're pressing gently into the band so that you're keeping a little bit of tension on it, but your knees are still in line with your hips. And then peel yourself all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time, release to neutral at the bottom. Roll the tailbone under. And lower. And lift. And heels dragging gently towards your shoulders. So you don't want to send your weight back as you lift your hips. And curl yourself back down. You're going to pause here at the top. Okay. From here, your left leg is going to stay where it is, and you're going to externally rotate through the right leg, and then bring it back to the center. Staying on that right side, externally rotate, left leg stays still. For 6. 5, you can come over onto the edge of the back leg. Left leg still engaged with the back of the leg, keeping this space in the back of your body. 3. Last one. Right leg's gonna stay still, left leg's gonna rotate out to the side and back in. Again, your right leg is working, keeping that gentle pressure on the band so that it doesn't splay out to the side. For 5. 4. 3. Last one. And then both legs out to the side, resist and back. And don't think about making this so big of how much can I stretch the band, but how much can I resist going out, and then resist the even amount to come back in. Your pelvic floor is really, really engaged as you resist to come back in, and then back out. And then 5. 3. Tuck in the pelvis, 2. Last one, and then we get to go all the way down. Pause with your feet, nice and stable, standing on the whole foot. Heels drawing towards your shoulder blades. Tuck the tailbone under as you round all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. Good. Let your knees come in for a second. Just release your glutes. And then you're going to bring them back to hip distance. So you have, again, that slight tension on the band. In your neutral position here, you're just going to lift yourself straight up. Straight up and down. 4, 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one, pause at the top. You're going to let both legs come out. And. First. 5. Same thing. Just now you're in a neutral pelvis. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Good. Pause here. You're going to lower your hips and lift. And lift. And lift. For 10. Small little lift. 7. Going straight up. Knees reach forward. 5. 4. 2. Last one. Let your right leg fall out. And then left leg. So alternating from one side to the other, staying in this neutral pelvis. Now you may feel this a little bit more in the quads, a little bit more just straighten the glutes and lessen the hamstrings in this neutral pelvis. Making sure you're not opening both knees out at the same time. You're alternating one and then the other. 2 more to each side. Last one. Good. And then from here, you're going to do a little pulse out, drop the hips, and pulse up with both legs as you lift the hips. You're combining both of these moves together. This is our last bridging motion for 10. 9. Opening evenly, resist it as you lift. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. We're going to do a nice roll down at the end. Last one. Good. Tuck the tailbone under, reach yourself up into the top of that bridge. Shoulders are drawing toward your heels, and then peel yourself under one vertebrae at a time, lowering all the way down to the floor. Give yourself an extra second here. Pause and stretch that low back. Maybe come in and out of your up, your scoop into neutral. A couple times here. Again, keeping those legs in hip distance, so you still have a little engagement on that plan. For 3, 2, last one, and then release 2. So bring your knees into your chest. We're gonna take that band off of your legs, bring it off to the side, gently rock back and forth from one side to the other, and then cross your right ankle over your left, and then you can either plant your left foot on the ground and just let yourself fall over into a twist, or you can go into a twist from here, your choice. If figure 4 is more comfortable, and then fall over, you're more than welcome to do that as well. One more breath here. And then come back to the center. Cross your left leg over your right. Whether you're crossed all the way, foot on the floor, figure 4 stretch, or in at your chest, let your legs fall over to the right now. Try to keep that right shoulder down, or left shoulder down rather, as best you can. Shoulders are relaxed. You can take different stretches on each side. So find whatever feels good. One more breath here. Good. Grab behind your thighs, rock yourself up. You will actually finish with a nice side stretch. So come into a Z sit here. Left shin is in line with the front of your mat. Right leg out to the side, and then plant your left hand down. Reach that right sitting bone towards the floor. Bend the left arm if you need, then side bend up and over to the left. Shoulders are relaxed, neck is nice and long. And then come all the way up, grab onto your right shin and side bend up and over to the right. And then over to the left. Left arm is planted as you side bend up and over that way. Really breathing into the ribs on the side here. And over again to the right. Thinking about opening up through the rib cage. Breathing into the back of your body, just like we were doing in the startup class. And then stack yourself up and then switch sides. So right shin in line with the front of your mat, left leg out to the side. Think about gluing this left sitting bone down towards the floor. If it doesn't reach, whatever, but just think that opposition as you side bend up and over to the right. I find pressing into my hand that's on the floor to be very helpful. I'm both keeping my shoulder away and getting a little lower stretch through my side. And come all the way up, side bend up and over to the left side. Use your breath to help you move a little further. And over to the right. And then last time over to the left, and we're gonna end it in a child's pose. Relax the shoulders. And then push all of your props out of the way. Bring our toes together, knees as wide as your mat, and then sit back onto your heels. Reach your hands forward, and then find a nice child's pose here. Take a big inhale into the back of your lungs. And then exhale, let yourself melt onto the floor. You are all finished. So feel free to stay here and take a few more breaths or even a little side stretch from one side to the other.